Hey everybody, Jerry Williams, aka Greater Sapien here. Thanks for stopping by. So, you know convicted felon Donald Trump held a rally in Las Vegas about a week or 10 days ago. And during a section of his speech where he's making promises to the oil and gas industry to undermine any electric vehicle mandates, he has a bit of a digression.
So we have a country that's in trouble. We're going to end the mandate on electric one day. They want to make all boats, too. I went to a boat company in South Carolina. The boat, I said, how is it? He said, it's a problem, sir. They want us to make all electric boats. These are boats that are from 16 to 35 or so feet. Fishing boats, leisure boats. Beautiful company in South Carolina. Beautiful. Guy's been doing it for 50 years. He sells hundreds of boats every couple of months. I mean, really fantastic guy. And they use the Mercury engines and different engines in the back. No problem. They want to take that out. They want to make it all electric. He said the problem is the boat is so heavy, it can't float.
No, this is patently false. Electric boats aren't so heavy that they can't float. Either he's lying or the person he was talking to was lying, but there are no manufacturers putting boats on the market that are too heavy to float.
I said, that sounds like a problem. He said, also, it can't go fast because of the weight, and they want to now have a 50-mile or a 70-mile radius. You have to go out 70 miles before you can really start the boat up, and you go out at 2 knots. That's essentially almost like 2 miles an hour. I say, how long does it take you to get out there? Many hours.
Okay, I'm going to ignore the contradiction of this boat that doesn't float going very slowly out to sea. Does it float or not? It's going out to sea, so obviously it floats. But the next part could very well be true about it having to go very slowly, but I'm pretty sure that has to do with general shipping lane regulations and nothing to do with electric vehicle regulations.
And then you're allowed to go around for 10 minutes, but you have to come back because the batteries only last for a very short period of time. So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes,
his relationship with MIT? Is he trying to imply that he's somehow involved intellectually with MIT, like maybe he went there or was involved in a study when it comes to MIT? Because his relationship with MIT he had an uncle that was a professor at MIT. His relationship with MIT is that he had a relation that worked at MIT. Does he think that the transitive property makes him as smart as an MIT professor? And I'm sorry, just because you ask a question that no one else has asked doesn't mean it's a smart question. Oftentimes people don't ask questions because the old saying, there are no stupid questions, is a lie. There are stupid questions. Let's hear one.
I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery, and the battery's now underwater, and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there?
Okay, so here's the thing again. If his question was, what would happen if the boat sank and the electric battery was submerged? Would that be dangerous? Well, that's not a stupid question. But obviously that's not the question he's asking, because now there's a shark.
By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards. Or here, do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question.
This is a dumb question.
I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to end that. We're going to end it for boats.
Okay. So there's a sensible question in there about whether or not submerging electric boats' battery is dangerous. And of course, they manufacture them with the idea that a boat needs to be able to go underwater in case of an accident. So they're fine. You don't get electrocuted if your car goes into the water or your electric car goes into the water. But I'm more interested in the crazy shark obsession, because while this may be a weird story, and maybe signs of the way his brain is a little bit broken, it's definitely a confirmation of Stormy Daniels' story, because even though now convicted Felon Trump tried to use the defense in his trial that his encounter with Stormy Daniels never happened, this weird, I would rather get electrocuted than face the shark story wholly confirms Stormy Daniels' story. You see, Daniels did an interview back in 2011 with In Touch that got held because Michael Cohen threatened to sue. But that interview was published in 2018. And in the interview, Daniels described an amusing part of her 2007 dinner with now convicted felon Trump. The strangest thing about that night, this was the best thing ever. You could see the television from the little dining room table, and he was watching Shark Week. And he was watching a special about the USS something, and it sank, and it was like the worst shark attack in history. He is obsessed with sharks, terrified of sharks. He was like, I donate to all these charities, and I would never donate to any charity that helps sharks. I hope all the sharks die. He was like riveted. He was like obsessed. It's so strange, I know, so strange. So we finished dinner, and we moved to the sofa so he could get a better view of Shark Week. So, folks, you can deny all you want that the Stormy Daniels encounter ever happened, but this woman knows that man. And dude, with this speech, this rambling shark-obsessed speech, you just told on yourself. And that is goddamn funny. Stay woke, everybody.
That's my job. That's what I do. I don't lose. I win. Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Maybe you came by to congratulate me on last night's victory.